Principle number 6 is also very, very important, and it's one of the principles that are many times overlooked and that will kill your performance, especially kill your endurance big time. So let me explain. When you breathe, usually when you're breathing in a slow and relaxed manner, when your heart rate is down, when you are in conversation or you're watching a movie or whatever, your breathing is pretty evenly. You know, you exhale, you inhale, you exhale, you inhale, you know, and it's pretty smooth and pretty even, you know. But when it comes to physical intensity, fighting, running, doing any kind of exercise, it's important that you focus more on the exhalation than the inhalation. And the reason for that is you need to get in enough air, enough oxygen. The problem is you only can get enough air in if you get rid of the used air. You know, all the used air has to leave the body. If you can't get rid of the used air, you can't get in fresh air. And what happens is that you usually feel like, oh, I'm out of breath. Oh, I can't get enough air. And you inhale more. And by inhaling more, you don't make it better, but you create even more panic. You feel even more out of breath. You see, because you still try to suck in fresh air, but the problem is not the fresh air. The problem is you need to get rid of the used air. And that is one of the most important things you can remember from this video course, along with the first principle of continuous breathing. The problem is, human body is working in a very special way. Inhalation, you know, is not something you need to do actively. Inhalation is automatic because it's life-giving. It's a survival thing, you know. Without inhalation, you're gonna die, you know. So inhalation always happens automatically when you exhale, when you really, really exhale. However, exhalation is not happening automatically. That means if you don't exhale enough, and you have a physical performance going on, a fight or something, and you don't exhale enough, then you don't get rid of the used air. And that means you can't get enough air in, like I said before, and then it's a downward spiral that leads you to exhaustion, to being out of breath, and to feel like totally fatigued, you know. So let me explain you, show you what I mean. Come close a little. If I inhale, listen to my inhale. You hear my inhale, but you don't hear any kind of exhalation. If I breathe like that, even through the mouth, if I do that, it's highly likely that I will start to hyperventilate, which is something you do not want to happen in a fighting situation. So now listen to my exhale. You hear at the end. You can hear it at the end. There is inhalation automatically. One more time. You could even see it. You see, I try to be, let's say, put my jacket out. Oops. If I lay down, let's say I'm here, you know, and I try the first method with inhalation only. You see, even my inhalation, when you compare my first inhalation to my second and third, you will hear that inhalations get shorter and shorter and shorter because I do not get rid of the used air. Listen one more time. it's done. You see? After 3 inhalations, basically after the first inhalation, I was not getting rid of the used air, so I could not breathe in again. Now, I show you the focus on exhalation. So I'm here. If I need to breathe faster, you see? This absolutely, I could do this forever. I could breathe for an hour like that. Because with every exhalation, the muscles in my core and in my lung and my diaphragm, they just start to suck air in. So when I exhale actively, I do automatically inhale. While if I do it the other way, if I inhale actively, you know, I don't exhale automatically. So when it comes to fighting, if you really want to preserve energy, if you really want to keep your breath, it's always important to focus on exhalation. That means when you go in a fight, you know, you breathe and it's like, and whenever you feel like overwhelmed or shocked or surprised or out of breath, don't start inhalation. You see, don't start to inhalate like crazy, but exhale. And you decide how long. If there is speed coming up or intensity, it's like so when you do a sit-up, for example, or a push-up, it's the same, you know, focus on exhalation. When I roll, you could see there is some inhalation, but the main focus is on exhalation, you know. When it comes to performance, this is so important. And I will show you later a lot of exercises, standing and on the ground and on the dummy, and you can play around with all that stuff, but always keep in mind that it's very, very important to focus on exhalation. Even when you go running, when you go chair running or biking, whatever, doesn't matter. Whenever it comes to physical performance, whenever it comes to elevated heart rate, elevated blood pressure, then always keep in mind to focus on exhalation. That is a very, very important point, which is really the cause of many problems. When people have problems with their endurance, very often it's not a problem with endurance, it's a problem with breathing, and especially it's a problem with exhalation. Like I said, inhalation comes automatically if you exhale, but if you can't exhale, then that is a big problem. Another thing which you should think about it, you know, and which is sometimes a little bit hard to digest because it's not so purely physical and practical. It's whenever you think about exhalation, it's always letting go. So think about a really strong shout. If you shout loud, you know, really strong, you see, it's like you let something out, you let energy out, or you let emotions out, you know. And when it comes to movement, you know, exhalation is, and I will show you that in the standing series when we do standing exercises. Exhalation has a lot to do with letting go, with opening up the body, with moving, you know. And you can't let go, you can't extend your body, you can't do big movements without exhalation. That is a very important point. If your breath is so tight, you only focus on inhalation, it's very difficult for you to open your body up. You know, to open your body up, to move, to expand, to open your body, your movement, you know. So that is very important. Also, especially when it comes to fighting, is letting go is also important emotionally. If someone punches you, you know, in a fight, or if something goes, you know, you fight in a jiu-jitsu match and you feel it's an unfair thing happening to you or something, you know, and you get emotion, you get angry, you want to pass this guy's guard, but it doesn't work, you try for 2 minutes and the guy is a white belt and it should be supposed to be easy to pass, and you get angry, then you stop breathing because you get so angry, and you stop breathing and you tense up, and your performance will go down, and you get more angry because your performance goes down, and that's a downward spiral, and at the end you are exhausted, your arms are full of blood, and you're angry at yourself and at the guy because you did not let go. So whenever you feel emotions, and I will talk about this later too, but whenever you feel emotions, focus on exhalation, let them go, you know. Don't inhale, don't take the anger and the rage in the stomach, let it go. And in a fight, you get hit. You know, my first reaction, whenever I get hit, whenever I get injured, whenever I get surprised, you know, in the street or something, my first reaction is always to exhale. You know, always. Even when I got in the car, when I drive in the car and there is a dangerous situation or a situation that requires a few seconds of focus, it's always like, whenever I feel I need to relax under pressure, emotionally or physically, I focus on my exhalation. Same as if I have to take a, let's say, a refrigerator, and have to bring the refrigerator up into the 10th floor, and there is no lift, you know. Then when I take it and carry it, I always focus on, exhalation, because I can't, and I will show you this later. I focus on exhalation, but still I keep my required tension. If I carry something, I need to have certain tension in my stomach, but I have to still breathing, otherwise I would go tired. So I'm focusing on exhalation with everything. There are some exercises at the end I will show you that are requiring a little bit more inhalation, but that's for a different purpose. But for combat, for performance, always focus on exhalation.